That's Gary O'Donoghue. Now, Facebook is providing tips on how to spot fake news. The social media platform has taken out full-page newspaper adverts here in the UK, spelling out exactly what people should look out for when it comes to assessing whether stories are news, fake news, or even satire. Well, Alistair Reid is a social media journalist at the Press Association. He's here in the studio with me. And Alistair, welcome here to the programme. We'll talk more about Facebook themselves in a moment, but in terms of these top tips, I mean, how useful is that, given how difficult it is for all of us to navigate this issue?
Yeah, so I think putting those kind of tips in the press and also on in people's news feeds on Facebook as well is a great step forward in terms of making people aware that there are many things on social media that we just don't know whether they're true unless we do a little bit of digging around that. So whether that's checking if it's been reported elsewhere, whether it's looking at the about page of the website and seeing if it's a source that people know already and trust. Those are all good tips.
I mean, you deal with this all of the time.
Yes.
So what are the things that people, as they're making this assessment, what should they be suspicious of?
So I would say, well, number one is if anything gives you a strong emotional response. You know, if you have a strong emotional reaction to a story, whether that's humour or anger or shock, then that's a sign that potentially it's something which people are trying to trick you into believing. When you actually get into that, looking at the about page of the website, does it say it's satire, for example? Who is the source? Where is it coming from? And what do we know about them already? Are they going to be, are they in a position to be able to write about this kind of thing? Do they know about it already? Those are all important tips to remember.
It's interesting, though, when Facebook are saying this, in a sense, this is for you to look out for. That suggests that actually this is our problem and not theirs.
Yes, and that's something which it's a very fine line deciding who necessarily regulates this. I personally think it's something which everyone should be looking out for, journalists and educators and individuals, because we can't be in a position where a private company like Facebook is deciding what is true and what is not. The same with governments. That's an issue with the free press. We can't necessarily have governments deciding what is true and what is not, and that's why it's such a complex issue to tackle, because some people are saying that these things are true. So it is on all of us to be a little bit more aware.
It's on all of us, but I suppose it's where the onus is, which is that should it be more on Facebook? Should Facebook be doing more than simply saying to us, the public, well, watch out for these sorts of things?
Yes, well, there was a story a few weeks ago, which I wrote for PA, which was that Facebook were accepting money from in their sponsored section of their website to promote stories, and some of those stories were false. And that is definitely something which they need to look into in more detail, is regulating who is, or seeing and checking who is actually paying them on occasion to promote false information.
And they are making money, because it's interesting, the BBC Panorama programme spoke to Facebook and they acknowledged that for some material they are making money from fake sites. They wouldn't say how much, yes, but they are making money, well, and that is significant.
Yes, when I wrote that story and I alerted them to it and asked for comment, they said that they took down those adverts and they banned the accounts from putting adverts immediately. So it's something they are concerned about, but if they are, that level of oversight isn't always there in the automated process when they have people paying them. So it's something that they're playing catch-up with, but they're still, you know, these efforts are a positive step.
All right, Alistair, thanks for coming in to talk to us about that. Thank you.